Hello everybody. Are McKinsey, BCG, Bain at the risk of losing their greatness? In 2021-2022, just like all the other big tech companies, McKinsey, BCG, Bain have also seen increase in revenues. But 2023, just like all the big tech companies, they also faced a reality check. And unfortunately, unlike the big tech companies which could go ahead and bank on the AI boom, the consulting companies do not have that kind of leverage. And in fact, if the AI boom continues to grow, then consulting companies are potentially at a risk. Before we dig deep into understanding what are the factors that could potentially lead to this kind of a decline, let's first understand where do these companies stand? What do they do? If you look at the consulting companies, their overall objective is to support their clients, other companies, and what are the various ways in which they can consult and support. Let's look at one extreme end of the spectrum, that is specialized niche consulting firms. These are working only in one area. For example, they might be doing operations support or supply chain consulting in the mining industry or any such kind of niche area, or we can call them as rocket scientists of that area. And truly so, it is hard to replace these guys because they have expertise in that domain and they are building that expertise and reputation over a very long time frame. Now that's category one. On the other end of the spectrum, we can see implementation partners or consultants who come in and help their clients implement stuff that's already being decided. This bucket can consist of, let's say for IT services, TCS, Wipro, Infosys. A lot of these guys also have their consulting arms, and majority of the consulting work goes into this implementation work. And in the middle spectrum is where McKinsey, BCG, Bain and other strategy consulting companies lie. Their objective is to help the CEO, CFO or the C-level executives, the leadership of the teams, make the right decisions. And how do they do that? They go through the entire organization, get the data what is required, do that analysis, help the company make that quick decisions. This is one big part of the job. I'm not saying this is the only part of the job, but this is a huge part. Of course, a lot of companies do not know what is the right question to ask. So they'll help in structuring the problem, going and doing the data analysis, and then shaping the strategy of the company for the next 5 years, 10 years, or the immediate next 3 months. However, this revolution of AI can help the clients do this entire data analysis way quickly. And that is the reason why this disruption for the entire consulting industry could be different from the disruptions in 2008, the financial crisis, and 2020, the pandemic, and even 2000, the dot-com bubble. So all these bubbles, they could get over it, in fact, much more strongly, but this is remarkably different. So we have to wait and watch how the AI evolution will play out. Now that we understand what consulting companies like McKinsey, BCG, Bain do at a very high level, determining or supporting in shaping the strategy of the firms, the next part is what are some of the factors that are pushing these companies into potential decline. One of the reasons is globalization. Yes, let me repeat it, globalization. Consulting companies like McKinsey, BCG, Bain, or even if I get ahead and involve the big fours, even PwC, Deloitte, all these guys also have strong consulting arms. Deloitte, for example, has their presence in 150 countries. McKinsey also has a huge presence across the globe. When I worked at McKinsey, I was in the US office, but when there was a need in Indonesian office for a specific type of project, I was pulled into that project. So the global networks were a strength that they could pull in people from different parts of the world and execute a project to the best of their abilities at a very short span. But now, this global network for every single company is acting against them. How and why? If you think about China, McKinsey apparently has helped China in designing their Vision 2025, Make in China 2025, and hence a lot of US lawmakers are against for McKinsey to go ahead and work on government projects. Previously, they used to confidently boast about, hey, we have worked in China, we have worked in Europe, and we collectively can bring a lot more of experience. But now, that's not the case anymore. In fact, Bain employees in the Shanghai office were questioned by Chinese administration. Now, these kind of things were not common a few years back. And it's not just about China. It is also about McKinsey, BCG, Bain's, and all these consulting companies' involvement in Saudi Arabia. So, is globalization really important, or is it really detrimental for consulting companies, is a big question mark now. The second thing is with respect to the prioritization of how the corporate world is moving through a certain factors. For example, sustainability was on top of the agenda for a lot of companies in 2020, 2021, 2022. But come 2023 and 2024, when the macroeconomic factors themselves were changing, they said sustainability is not important for me anymore. It is 10th in the priority list, which means it is not important at all. So what these guys did, all the consulting companies in 2021, 2022 were, they acquired a lot of these sustainability related companies so that they built that expertise and support clients. Now, what happens to the future of sustainability? Again, a big question mark. The third factor is, of course, the AI factor. But how is that playing out? Previously, if two companies are merging, right, they had to have a consultant from these big consulting organizations doing a lot of analysis, which is typically called as due diligence. You can go ahead, Google the word due diligence, and you will understand what it means from a consulting or an M&A, mergers and acquisitions context. Now, a lot of these mergers and acquisitions based analysis are automated through web scraping tools, through chatbots, and hence the consulting companies have also started adopting collaborations with different AI companies out there. Now, the best of the best have already come together. Bain is collaborating with OpenAI. BCG is collaborating with Anthropic. Accenture is collaborating with Microsoft. And of course, McKinsey has a few acquisitions under its radar. Now, all these are fine, but there is a big question mark. Again, once the clients, the companies are comfortable with these AI revolution and they themselves can use these artificial intelligence chatbots, now what is the purpose of going to McKinsey, BCG or Bain and then using these AI tools? Can't they directly go to Silicon Valley and start subscribing to these tools? Instead of a 5-member consulting team, they can have just one person who is working with the chatbot to do all the analysis and just helping frame the question itself. That's a very realistic probability, and which is not a good sign for the consulting companies. And that's one of the reasons why consulting companies are also getting into layoffs. Now, we do not know if this disruption is a genuine threat or arguably for the greatness of these consulting companies. Now, this could be one of the fundamental disruptions and could lead to the risk of losing that greatness or arguably the greatness of these consulting firms. But are the consulting companies just sitting idle and not doing anything? Of course not. Not only just collaborating with different AI partners, they are moving forward in a way where they are not just providing the solutions through their consultants going and sitting at the client side. They are taking a product-led consulting approach. They are building products themselves and saying that, hey, you deploy this product and I will go ahead and support you through this product. So instead of 5 consultants, we ourselves recommend only 1 consultant and a product for which you pay a subscription fee. This is a very interesting time ahead for the consulting industry, and I will let you know how this industry is moving forward through my own conversations with my friends from McKinsey, my classmates at INSEAD who then went into consulting companies. If you want me to do these kind of deep dives into different industries, which can help you understand how to read an industry, how you can shape your career if you are in that industry, and if you are interested in that industry, do let me know in the comments, and do let me know in the comments what are those 3 takeaways for you which you believe can lead to the downfall of consulting industry. See you again guys in the next one. Bye bye.